Have you ever stopped to think about how many words you actually need to get an idea across? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty wild concept that says the answer is way, way smaller than you might think. It's all about unlocking the hidden power inside just one single word. So, really, let's think about that. What's your guess? A few thousand? Tens of thousands? I mean, the average native speaker knows somewhere between 20,000 and 35,000 words. But what if I told you the number you need for clear everyday communication is just a tiny fraction of that? Yep, 850. That's it. It sounds kind of impossible, right? But this isn't just some number pulled out of a hat. It's actually the cornerstone of a whole system designed for clear, simple, global communication. Okay, so what is this all about? Well, it's called the Basic English 850 list. It's this super carefully chosen set of words that was put together back in the 1930s. And the goal wasn't to, replace English, but to create this stripped down version that anyone, anywhere could pick up fast to talk about all the essential stuff. To really see how this works, we're going to do something fun. We're going to put just one of those 850 words under a microscope. By really digging into the flexibility of a single core word, you start to see the genius behind this whole minimalist approach. And the word we're going to zero in on is angry. It's no accident it made the list. It was picked because it captures this fundamental human experience, an emotion that everyone on the planet can understand. All right, so let's break this word down. Let's really take it apart and see what makes it tick. How does it work? We're going to start with the most basic thing, what it sounds like. You've probably heard it pronounced a couple of ways, right? Angry or angry. And guess what? Both are totally correct. It's a small thing, but it just goes to show you that even a simple word has its own little quirks. But where it gets really powerful is in its meaning. Now this is where a core word like angry really starts to show off. See, it isn't just one idea. It's actually two completely different ones. It can describe what's going on inside our heads, our emotions, and what's happening in the physical world. This shows it perfectly. On one side, you have the feeling we all know. She was angry. Someone's upset. But then you can use the exact same word to describe a physical thing, like an angry wound. When a cut is all red and inflamed. One word, two totally powerful uses. That's the kind of efficiency that gets you a spot on the 850 list. But here's the thing. No word is an island. Its meaning is also shaped by all the other words around it, the ones that are similar, the ones that are opposite, and even the different forms it can take. They all build this rich web of meaning. So, take a look at these. They all mean something like angry. Now, basic English would just stick with angry, but when you look at the full language, you see all these different shades of the same feeling, right? From just mad all the way up to enraged. And just as important is knowing what a word isn't. By understanding that angry is the opposite of things like calm or composed, you get a much sharper idea of what it actually is. That contrast is super important for clear communication. And the word itself is flexible. It's not just stuck one way. We can tweak it to show different levels of intensity. So you can be angry, sure, but he might be angrier, and she might be the angriest person in the room. It adds all this detail without needing brand new words. And finally, angry is part of a family. It's the adjective that comes from the noun anger. And it sits right alongside all those other huge, important emotions we need to describe what it's like to be human. Fear, happiness, love, sadness. So let's bring it all back together. We just saw how one little word, angry, can describe a feeling and a physical state, how it connects to opposites and similar words, and how it can even change its own form to show intensity. This is the whole idea of basic English in action. And that right there is the secret sauce. You don't always need a gigantic vocabulary. By really truly mastering a core set of these super versatile words that can do double or even triple duty, like angry, you build this incredible foundation to express almost any essential idea you can think of. Which leaves us with a pretty big question to think about, doesn't it? We've seen just how powerful simplicity can be, but what are the limits? What gets lost when we strip things down? Or is being able to say something simply the ultimate proof that you really understand it? Something to chew on.